These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, July 19th, after the Celtics Summer League loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs got their lick back after the finals. You know what? Maybe this is crazy thing to say. They can have this one. If that's the trade-off, you guys can have it. But
good trade.
Summer League, good trade, handshake. Summer League Celtics end on a loss. AJ Lawson and Omax Prosper pop off for 21 and 22 respectively. Meanwhile, the Celtics, who were without J.D. Davis and Drew Peterson, Neemias Queta, Jamias Ramsey, Jaden Springer, all of whom got shut down for Summer League. Jamias Ramsey is an interesting one. We can talk about that because he's not actually on a team, so weird. But Jaylen House leads the way with 18 points, relatively inefficient, but 9 assists as well, and was just a menace the whole game, which was super fun to watch. Baylor Scheierman gets a little bounce back game from beyond the 3-point line. Anton Watson still just ever consistent. Jordan Walsh still could not make a 3 to save his life. 0 for 10 from 3 in this game. But if it's a consolation prize, was 4 of 6, did grab 11 rebounds, dish out 4 assists, 2 steals. So he did everything else pretty well, luckily. And he had a rough start too, so he really turned this one around. Killian Tillie played well, 12 points, 5 of 10, 2 of 5. And then off the bench, Ron Harper had 11 points as well. Any thoughts before we get into let's go through the minutes and grades, Sam?
Not grade specific, but just guys who I thought looked good. Tillie,
yep.
Jaylen House,
yep.
Scheierman shot better. Thought Ron Harper actually looked decent in this game.
I agree.
And Anton is one of my favorites. So
Anton's real good. But let's start towards the bottom with Tristan Enaruna. 14 minutes 58 in this game, 3 points, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 of 2 from the field. I don't want to say disappointing because it's not really like he played bad, but just like underwhelming Summer League for Tristan Enaruna in the sense of I thought we'd see a lot more of him, at least in terms of playing time. Like we didn't really see him. And we're going to have a full Summer League tier list where we talk about their full Summer Leagues in tomorrow's pod as you guys are listening to this. So I'll try to keep most of the thoughts just this game, although it is over. So they will not be making the tournament because they went 2-2. But Enaruna is fine. It just feels like another like C minus game for him because he didn't really do much. Like there wasn't really an impact that was made. I'll go C minus just because of that. He just kind of felt invisible out there.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of said it all. I kind of felt like we were going to see more of Enaruna going into Summer League. Like, this has been a really strange arc for him where he's the first guy we all hear about, whether that was the team's doing or it was his agent's doing. I'm not sure, but we really would have thought he would be more impactful. As somebody, we watched his highlights and saw that he was the leader in just about everything at Cleveland State. Granted, the competition wasn't the greatest, but he was still the guy that was being asked to do everything for his team. Seeing him play in Summer League, maybe it's a little jarring for him, considering he went from literally doing everything to being the guy that plays the least minutes in a game like this. But man, I agree with you. I thought we would have seen a little bit more from him. Excuse me. Even missed a lefty layup, which is not very much on brand.
Not ideal. Not ideal for sure. Next up in the minutes, we'll go C minus for Tristan Enaruna. 18 for Tyler Cook, 2 of 3 from the field, 7 rebounds, 2 offensive, 5 points. Didn't feel as good of a game from Tyler Cook as the last one. He was still fine. He didn't have a bad game, but this one just sort of felt like he was out there going through the motions. I can't remember specifically, but there were a couple plays, I think, where he felt a little out of position defensively. He felt like he stepped slow. There was one play where he jumped on a 3-point shot and then sort of sent everyone in rotation. I think the Mavs got a 3 out of it. I'll go like C+ for Tyler Cook. Maybe you want to jump up to the B- because the offensive boards, but this felt like a game you're like, okay, I can understand why this guy's probably more of a higher tier G League player, maybe play in another league, like not really quite that NBA level just because of the smaller things he was out of position for, but still, again, like fine game, just not as good or impressive as I thought he was in the other one.
Happy to see what he did in his role. Like 5 points and 7 rebounds isn't bad off the bench in only 18 minutes. Like, he hit the offensive glass yet again. Like, that's a staple of his game. It's something he's really somebody who's attacking it. Like, he is a hound for those second chance opportunities. So overall, while he may not have been super impactful, he wasn't dishing out passes quite like he was the other day. He was still trying to make the right play, The defense isn't quite there yet. You're absolutely right. He looks a step slow at times, and it's probably the reason why he's not in the NBA, because just the rebounding and ability to finish it alone is like, okay, I could see this guy off the bench for somebody being a little bit of a spark plug, high energy, high athleticism, big, but the defense just isn't there. And going forward, it's going to be tough to see him finding a spot with a pro team, that I should say an NBA team. I could see him in the G League just like you. I would say, yeah, C+ is pretty fair for him in this one.
Yeah. Killian Tillie, 21-25 as the starting center in this game, 5 of 10, 2 of 5 shooting, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. Good Tillie game. Made his threes, 3-point shot, looked confident. Had that nice block where he rotated over and stuffed someone at the rim. I'll go B+ game for Tillie. I don't think he cracked that A tier grade for me. But this is another game where you're like, okay, yeah, I can see why Tillie should draw some interest around the league for at least a 2-way contract to get his feet wet and back in the basketball world.
Yeah, Tillie has steadily improved every single game. And I think I mentioned on the last show, I'm sure that has something to do with him not having had played ball in 2 years in a real game like this. So every single time he does it, he feels a little bit better. Granted, as the summer league goes on, the competition drops a little bit. The minutes open up for him as guys begin to rest and so on. But I'm happy with what we saw from him today. Like you mentioned, good rim protection game from him. It's really been a good rim protection campaign overall in the summer league. He's somebody who seems comfortable in his limited offensive role, right? Like, he's making his threes at a pretty high clip. His jump shot looks clean. He's catching and finishing okay. And he's hitting the glass at a decent rate. 4 rebounds in 22 minutes, 21 minutes isn't the greatest, but he's not somebody it feels like he's getting burned on defense, which is a really big thing when it comes to thinking about his future as a pro. And if he keeps it up, like, I would like to see him in Maine. Maybe, I don't know if we can say the third 2-way, just because 1, it might already be gone, and 2, Ramsey really, really looking good where you might want
Ramsey really
spot.
Good.
But Tillie is really impressed. He may be the most above expectations guy so far in the summer league. And that's saying a lot, because Ramsey in the same breath has been fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, I was laughing. I got a DM during that and I saw it, and it said, "I recommend not posting politics. You've lost a follower, stupid lib." And I thought it was
What
really
did you
funny.
post?
I don't even know. I don't really post.
Did you
politics.
denounce Hulk Hogan?
I think I retweeted something. Like, I didn't even post something. I just retweeted something that I thought was funny, and somebody got mad at me. I just I saw it. And I was like,
"It's so funny." You can't be getting mad at people for this. This is like peak comedy. I mean,
I think it was like somebody of, I don't want to talk about politics on the show, but it was like people at a rally wearing ear patches to show their support or something. And then somebody retweeted saying, "These are the same people who wouldn't wear masks because, quote, they're not sheep." And I thought it was funny. And someone, again, I can't get enough, bro. People get so mad. It's so funny. But then I look at the guy's profile and it's the picture of Trump dancing like this, and I'm like, okay, I see, I understand.
Just so many great characters in this cycle. It's hard not to laugh at everything.
Yeah, shout out Killian Tillie. Next in terms of minutes was Ron Harper, 23-05, 11 points, 2 rebounds, both of which were offensive rebounds, 1 assist, 4-9 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. 3-point shot looked better today, obviously, because they went in. But just in general, in my opinion, I think he looked a little more confident with it. He grabbed it and he just chucked it up. He was very quick trigger with the threes today. Still not ideal. Sometimes driving to the hoop, still not ideal. Sometimes on defense, but it did. This was probably this was Ron Harper's best summer league game so far. I'll get B-. I still don't think it was super impressive to get even higher. Maybe you want to squeak it up to a B, and I wouldn't complain. But this was the most promising he's looked since summer league.
Yeah, the 3 fouls in 23 minutes isn't the greatest. It's not the greatest clip that you want to see from somebody who's trying to earn a pro contract. Defense is one of those things that kind of takes the top, takes the cake when you're looking at skill sets you want to add to your team. And Harper Jr. definitely has the size to be an NBA guard. He's somebody who isn't going to get bullied. He's not someone who's going to really get targeted and switches for his size, but he needs to really hone in on that ability, because he's probably not going to at least stick with the Celtics for that reason, even though I think they do like him a little bit. He got a training camp offer too, I believe. That may just be kind of standard practice for this. But I'm happy to see the threes go in. Like, I actually thought his form looked pretty good. He looked comfortable off the catch today. I know when we watched him in, Toronto in the G League, he was doing a lot of shot creation for himself. But in this situation, he looked pretty comfortable playing off the ball, which is going to be big for him going forward. I do think the gradual progress through Summer League is similar to Tillie's, where he hasn't played basketball in a while. He came off an injury, maybe a little bit of rust at the beginning. And as we've gone on, I feel like he's kind of gotten better and better, but I don't know if he's quite good enough to really get excited about from a Celtics perspective going forward. But I would say B minus B. 11 points off the bench isn't too bad, especially in a game where they only scored 90.
It's true. They did only score 90. Next,
there's only 40 minutes in these games though, so take that with a grain of salt. They did give up 101, which isn't great.
Not ideal. Mavericks were just making everything. They didn't play great in this game.
My dad was watching with me. He goes, "Do these guys miss?"
Clearly not. They clearly didn't.
A summer league game.
Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. I remember my dad taking me to Fenway Park as a kid, getting to watch David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia sitting in the Green Monster and taking in all there is to love about the iconic ballpark. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Taking a look at my Game Time app right now, I see plenty of great deals to watch my favorite sports teams and my favorite tickets to Noah Khan. You guys know that's my favorite artist. I even used it while in Las Vegas for Summer League to get tickets to a women's basketball game. Some of my favorite features in the Game Time app include letting me see what the price is going to be with fees included. It makes so much easier to take a look and see what the actual price I'm going to pay is. Also, you get to see exactly where you are sitting. It's a great way to know exactly the experience you're going to get. I also love the fact that you can get great last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, or anything else. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off.
Anton Watson, 28-22 in this game, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 5-11 from the field, 2-4 from 3. I think this is my A-plus game. Anton Watson gets it for me. He's just consistently awesome. He's just in the right place. I talked to an assistant coach at Gonzaga for a story I'm working on, and he just droned on and on about dude, this guy is the most NBA ready, laid back, just works hard guy. Exactly what the Celtics should want. And shout out Anton Watson, man. He should, in my opinion, be a lock for the two-way spot. And I think the Summer League made it really intriguing. Do they spend the extra money and get him on that 15th roster spot locked up? I don't think they will, but he's played well enough where that should be a real conversation. This is A+. Shout out Anton Watson.
I think you make a good point with that final roster spot, and it also feels like we're kind of burning our tier list. So I'll stray away from that. Stay tuned for tomorrow's pod. But in this game, much like the other games, he has been really, really comfortable looking out there. Same story, always in the right place, makes the right play, puts himself in position to be successful on both ends of the floor. And today we actually got to see him be more of a focal point for the offense with a lot of guys out. So I was impressed. I can get behind that. 14 points, 8 rebounds, and a pair of blocks is good for an A+ for me.
Absolutely. And the blocks were impressive blocks too. That
was I didn't pause on purpose. I just remembered full take tomorrow. Pod teams.
Yes.
Find out if Anton Watson is good or not tomorrow.
Jordan Walsh played 29-58 in this game, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4-16 from the field, 0 of 10 from 3. 0 of 10 from 3 really is a tough pill to swallow. I'd say B- for Jordan Walsh. I want to go higher because I think the defense was better in this game. He only had 1 foul. I thought the assists were good, although one of his assists was drive kick to the corner, and then he I don't know if he just got in the rhythm of it, but like a few plays later, he was like, "Oh, I can drive and kick to the corner," and the Mavs just like read it, and he's like, "Oh wait, I can't just do the same thing." 11 rebounds, obviously good. 4-7 from the free throw line, not good. B-. I'll go B- for Jordan Walsh. Just brutal, man.
I really can't think of any clever letters to say this, but it's time for a psychiatrist. In like the nicest way. As somebody who has a chat with a psychiatrist every once in a while. The man is clearly in his own head.
Yeah, completely in his own head. Absolutely.
Even if you just take the misses out of it, the shot selection from 3 is clearly, holy shit, I need to see one go in so fucking bad. I'm going to take every opportunity I get to fire one up. Jordan, it's okay. You didn't play great in Summer League. You didn't make a 3. However, everything else was there for him in this game. The hustle was there. I'm glad that he learned from his first game and just didn't let the poor shooting affect him in other avenues, of other aspects of his game. So I would say B- is fair. Like, you got to put the ball in the basket from 3. It's good that he's comfortable getting inside and getting to the rim and hustling and everything, but for him to stick in the NBA and really even make the most of his time in Maine, he has to be able to sink those threes. Like when he played for the Celtics last year up in Maine, we looked it up last time, 36%. Like, he's shooting far better than 0%, which isn't hard to do, I suppose. Yeah. Shooting infinitely better than 0%.
Yay. I like that phrasing. He is, in fact, by definition, shooting infinitely better. Just tough, man. We'll talk more about the whole thing in the scope tomorrow. But Jaylen House, Jesus, 7-19 from the field, 2-7 from deep. So not the most efficient game. However, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists. Just a super competitive guy. Won a jump ball, which is fun. I'll go A- for A. I'll go A. He wasn't efficient, but this was a game I looked at and I'm like, you can see some stuff in this game, and I think he's at the very least worth a G League spot in Maine. Keep him around. Jaylen House is the type of guy who Celtics fans should be excited to watch in general, just because of the way he plays and his competitiveness. So I thought this was, obviously the best Jaylen House game because they gave him the most minutes, but like, he's not, a slouch defensively. He's a good defensive player. He's just small, and that'll come up back to bite him a few times just because it does. But this is a good game, good playmaking, good scoring, good confidence, good overall.
I mean, that assist to turnover ratio really kind of jumps out. 3-1 isn't bad. It's nice that he got some high usage in a real situation for all of us to see. It was probably the most similar role he's played in the summer league to what he played in college at New Mexico. And he was clearly fine with that. Like, one thing about Jaylen House, you have permission to use this for your article, fearless. Like, the guy is not afraid of anything. Like, he's willing to take any defensive assignment. He will go to battle with anybody on defense. He's going to be physical with them. He will be a bulldog with them on offense. He's not afraid to go inside, attack the rim, go at taller defenders. That being said, he still is a smaller guard. Like, the efficiency kind of says that today, where he's not converting at the highest level. That needs to improve for him to be a viable option for an NBA team. And it doesn't mean that he can't do so. But yeah, I would say in this game specifically, man, have I done a bad job about that today. I think this is an A game. A near double-double with impressive efficiency in the passing department is pretty good for me.
Yeah. Good for Jaylen House. Good game. Last but not least, Baylor Scheierman, 32-03 in this game, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Did have 2 fouls as well. Good overall game, 5-8-3-6. Like I said, efficient game, bounced back. I'd say A- for Baylor Scheierman. I thought he played pretty well. I thought he defended all right. He jumped, got off the ground a few times in this game, which was nice to see. He was competitive. Didn't get a chance to show off the playmaking quite as much. Had a nice deep 3 late in the game. I'll go A-. Maybe if you want to dip down to B+, I wouldn't complain because I think other games, the first 2 were probably a bit more impressive, even though the efficiency wasn't there. But I think A- is a pretty fair grade for Baylor.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about Scheierman today, and the box score probably wouldn't tell you this, is he was kind of being used as a pseudo point guard at times when Jaylen House was on the bench. he was bringing up the ball. He was initiating the offense. He was driving and trying to penetrate to put pressure on the defense. And I thought he did a pretty good job at that, despite only having 2 assists. Like, moved the ball pretty well. He was efficient today. It's good to see the shot come back for him. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday or not yesterday, whatever day we talked about this, where it feels like he might be more of a volume shooter than a sharpshooter. But I mean, could be the thing today too, where he just got hot. But he looked far more comfortable in this game. He was really, really aggressive on the glass again, which has been a trend. They put up his college stats where he was like the only guy with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists, and so on. And that aggressiveness, willingness to attack the glass is one of the reasons why I think Brad Stevens picked him, and I think that he may have a role with the Celtics as soon as the season after next.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think he could be a real contributor very soon, like you mentioned. A-. Agree. No, you said A- is fair grade. I'm pretty sure at the start. Yeah, I think that just about does it. Oh yeah, Jahmi'us Ramsey not playing. Like, I mean, it's fine for like Mishkada, the guys on contracts. Like, that has to mean he's got a deal somewhere, right? Like, I don't know if it's the Celtics already said they'll sign him to a 2-way, or the Celtics will bring him on, or another team said they bring him on. So he was like, hey, this team reached out and they're like, okay, do you want to play or not? And he was like, okay, I'm good. Like, that, I feel like that has to mean something though. I don't know what it means, or if I'm just being a conspiracist, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
Yeah, they didn't sit anybody else. So, well, anybody else that's not on the team.
Not on the contract, yeah.
I think this does say something about him. It may say that he's with the Celtics. I know it would be the honorable, good guy thing to do to sit him if he's signed somewhere else too. But he is someone who has played really well in the summer league for the Celtics. He may have been the second best guard behind Springer, who only played in 1 game. So I don't even want to include him in the rankings, but I think he's borderline been better than JD. I would take him on a 2-way. Would you?
Yeah, for sure, but not if it means Anton Watson isn't on one.
I think Anton Watson has nothing to worry about. I think he's going to be the priority over Jahmi'us Ramsey. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it means something for Jahmi'us not to be playing today, for sure.
Yeah. All right. That is all. Let us know your guys' thoughts of the game. We appreciate you for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and all the same. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, leave a like, comment, tell us what you thought. Every morning we have new stuff for you at 5 a.m., whether it's pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps the morning after each game, just like this one, and other videos in between. We'll keep you covered all summer with Celtics content. I like that one the best. You can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. All of our pods and recaps will be there for you. If you follow, they'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. Email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Tell us what you thought of the recent Summer League game. Tell us what you think of Team USA. Tell us what you think of the roster spots. Tell us your rat list. We'll read them. hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the pod. Streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Twitter's Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam with France NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.